Here we go, it is now moving day for these fishes. So these are the ones that are going into that blue tank that I've just put up in the last video. And they're currently at 6 degrees, so a bit chilly. They're not active too much, so it's really a good time to move them, especially when the weather's a bit mild like this. At least I'm not getting them out into freezing temperatures, so it's a mild day today. So rather than individually bagging all these fish, I'm going to put them in a big tank on a trailer. We're only going a mile up road. So it's not too much of a trouble that, and basically just get on with it. So basically I'm going to drain this tank into my tank on trailer. So we're draining the pond and it is sucking the water out there into the pump and then round here into this trailer down here. Let's have a look. Whee. Here we go. It's pumping quite well. So this is the tank that I'm going to be moving them in, rather than putting them in bags. And I know what you're thinking, a trailer with a tank on it, it's going to be sloshing about a bit. So I'm not going to fill it that much. So it is going to slosh about a touch. But we're only just going about a mile out road. It can just take us time. And I've done it before actually, with a tank like this, in the car though, I must admit. And it didn't slosh about at all, surprisingly. So I think we'll be fine. It just saves me bagging them all up really. And there we go. So all we've got to do now is wait for this tank to fill up. Basically I've just put the pipe in the side of the tank like that. Don't kink it. Might pump a bit better. There we go. And I'm also going to run an air stone on it while they're sat in here. So just to keep them happy. It should be fine. Oh, and it is definitely having a net over it, but we'll see that in a minute. So there we go, drained a bit of water out. Just got to get the fish themselves out now, which is going to be fun, but fortunately it's cold, so not that difficult really. Just going to have to catch them. So let's go and have a look at where they're going. So there we go, with tank. There we go, put the air stone on it nicely, and nice little tank, good setup, just for travelling with. I'm going to use this tank later on as a more permanent tank, similar to the blue one. I'm probably going to put that Nexus on it actually, but later on. Yeah, there might be a bit too much water in here for travelling with, but they're going to sit in here for a bit anyway, so I might drain it out depending on how it looks with fish in it. Might drain some out before I set off. Yeah, that's all to be decided later on. So let's get on with getting the fish in. So there we go, no fish left in the pond. Only thing left to do is drain it. So let's go and have a look at the fish. So yeah, with the fish, let's have a look at them. There you go, that is a lot of fish in a small tank, but it's certainly a lot easier than bagging them all. Let's get this one upside down. If you can guess how many fish are in there in the comments, you can get a gold star. Good luck with that. But there you go, that's how many fish there is. See if you can pause the video and count it. Right, let's get on with draining the tank, and get back to you in a minute. So that's the pond completely drained. We've took the backy shower off the wall and removed the Nexus from in here. It's pretty weird taking a pond to bits rather than building one. So we've got the bottom drains outlet, probably need to do something with that, cover it over or whatever, and that's a drain that's probably staying there. So when I get a bit closer to that bottom drain, I want to show you a bit more about it, because when it was put in, what happened, in fact if I come to this side you'll probably see it, it's not central to the pond as you may be able to see, I'm not sure. And what happened is it were all placed in, this was before I got involved in the build-up pond, I just want to add that, it were all placed in where it wanted to be, and then the concrete mixer came in here and poured the concrete base, and when it poured the base in, the bottom drain floated and all moved over here, so they had a right job trying to get it back to position. It didn't end up back in right position, and it's actually slightly cockeyed like that. So what I've ended up doing is bending the stem of the drain so that it's actually leaning over to make the lid level. So it did work out in the end, but just one of them things that when you're actually putting these drains in, you need to just put loads of breeze blocks or something on top of them, stack them right up, and you won't go wrong then. It won't shift because it does float quite easily away in concrete. Or make sure it's really anchored to flow in anyway. But there we go. So that's the pond at the minute. Need to figure out how to get this winder out. So obviously it's glued in like any other winder is, but I've never took one out before, so we're just trying to cut the glue away. This is the stem that goes in there like that, and as you can see, that what I've done is I've heated up this piece of pipe and just bent it so that it ends up sat straight with the bend on it. So it did work out after a bit of extra work, but yeah, just one thing to note. So underneath all this stuff is the shower, and you can see the shower back of house media. It's very mucky. But funny enough, the top one's actually quite clean because that were covered up, so I didn't get any sunlight in there. Just the other ones that are mucky. The fish are happy. I've not heard anything from them. Obviously, I've covered them all up, and yeah, seem alright. And then the Nexus is sat there quite comfortably. So there we go. So let's get back on with it. Oh, and I've got to move the car out of the garage. That was fun. Might have a look at that in a second when I put it back in. Go on then, start it. So there we go, we've got the winder out. There it is. That was an absolute nightmare to get out, that actually. A lot more difficult than you'd think for it just being glued in. So it was easier just to knock the wall about and then push it into the pond. Yeah, so the fiberglass has still stood there quite well. This pond were actually insulated on the back of the fiberglass, so it was a spray foam insulation, and then fiberglass on top of that. So really good way of fiberglass in it. But there we go. Shame. So that's end of day one, and just packing up to do that. And then tomorrow we'll be breaking up the fiberglass and filling in the hole, I guess. We made it back. So we did lose a little bit of water, a little bit of splashing going on, as you can see. Mostly when you went round corners, and you can see around that corner down there. But yeah, so I kept the air pump running, so they've still got air. And if you're wondering how I did that, I've just got an extension cable here that goes down here, over the side, onto the roof rack, and then into here, and then it just plugs into that little inverter there. Which plugs into a 12 volt socket down there. So it's a little 150 watt pure sine wave inverter. It really has to be a pure sine wave inverter because the way them things work, they really need a good sine wave to work properly. If you buy a cheap inverter, sometimes they won't work, the air pumps. But yeah, good way of keeping your air on if you want to transport fishing anyway. So we got fish is still in there. I didn't end up taking any water out. If I had done it, probably wouldn't have gone anywhere, but I just thought I'd leave it as it were. And it was fine. We've only done a mile, so not too bad. So here we are with the fun bit. Empty tank, no fishes in it. Let's get it drained. Hey! So the fish have been in the tank a few days and they're doing pretty well. I haven't actually fed them yet, so let's put them in a little bit of food, see if they take any interest. I don't think they will, it's not that warm, but we'll see. They are moving about a bit. Sunnier day today. Well, they're looking at that, so look at the filters. So obviously this is the first time I've ever run a vortex. It's quite good actually. You can see the muck coming into it, which I quite like. If you watch it, you can really see muck going in there. In fact, there's a few bubbles that's sucking in from the air stone, which is quite interesting. So yeah, you keep seeing muck going around. You can see it going down the chute as well to the other filter, but you can see that the heavier stuff is definitely sat in the bottom there, and I might purge it in a bit and get that out, just to have a look what's in it. So yeah, the air stone. Oh, fish are coming up. There's some lovely fish, big fish. Yeah, look at that, quite happy. Put them in a bit more. more food now if they're coming up. Yeah, this big fish always seems to be wanted to be upside down. I think he might be somehow lighter at the back end than he is at the front. I don't know. Maybe he's having a bit of trouble with swim bladder or something. Seems happy enough. It's probably a little bit too big for this tank actually, that could be half at trouble as well. So when he goes in my main pond later on, he might be a little bit happier. She. I always say he, but it's probably a she. So there we go. Nice look at the fish. See if you can guess how many fish is in there again. Same amount as were in tank. You'll get a gold star in the comments. You'll never guess. There's probably more than you'd think to say there were big fish as well. There we go. So let's have a look at what muck's in this vortex filter for the last couple of days. I'm quite interested. So I've just put the pipe that comes from the, basically right from the bottom straight into this tank here, and I'm just going to pull this valve open here and see what comes out. Oop. There. Bit of muck. Let's close the valve. Yeah, quite a bit of muck, that, isn't it? Look at that. That's only like 2 days and I ain't even been feeding them. Yeah, interesting. I quite like this little vortex thing. It really catches a bit of muck actually. Interesting. Yeah, it's pretty useful that. I'll probably need to move that air stone though. It doesn't need to be sucking air up. It's probably right next to the thing. I'll pull it that way a bit. Big fish. So we've got to get all that into there. So as you can see, we took all the sides down and basically we chucked it all in. We're going to sort of neaten it up a bit first, level it out, and then put all that hardcore on top, and it should be good, like it never happened. So yeah, it's filled up nicely, I guess. So let's get on with filling it up. It's going to be a long day. There we go, all done, all covered over, ready to be tarmacked now, which isn't my job, so that's me done. And that's it, nice little level patch. And that's what is left of the pond. Thank you for watching this video. If you liked it, then please like it. If you want to see more videos like this and fishy related videos, then please feel free to subscribe. If you have any questions or comments, then please put them down below, and I shall see you in the next video. Thank you for watching.